Hello everyone. In today's Behind the Veil segment, we're going to talk about the Saint of Hope, also known as the Saint of Hopeless Cases. This is him, Saint Jude, also known as the Apostle Thaddeus, a contemporary of Jesus. Saint Jude is the brother of James the Lesser. His mother, Mary, was also the cousin of the Blessed Lady. We have a fabulous statue here in our church of St. Jude. This is how it came about. When Monsignor Andrew Fry was the pastor when this church was built, he commissioned Italian artisans to make these statues that are in our church nave. A wax mold was made of St. Jude and carved appropriately, and once it was approved, the artisans began carving the marble. This statue is very close to being life-size, as you can tell by my presence next to it. It's intricately carved. The beard, the garments, and so forth is a beautiful statue made out of Carrara marble. It is extremely heavy. St. Jude, he preached in the area primarily of Armenia. St. Jude is known by many different symbols that are associated with him in statues and paintings. One symbol is normally associated with St. Jude is some fire that is usually shown on his head. That fire being associated with St. Jude being present when the Holy Spirit came upon the apostles. Our statue does not reflect that symbol. However, our statue does reflect several other symbols. One being the staff here of St. Jude. He's often depicted with a staff. You see, St. Jude is known as the apostle of hopeless cases. St. Jude is known that way because he often preached to his fellow apostles and Christians to stay the course, to hold the line. Don't let them push you around. Do not be fearful of being martyred. St. Jude, for that tenacity, was actually clubbed to death, believed to be in Armenia around 65 AD. St. Jude also worked with St. Bartholomew, who is believed to have been martyred around the same time. St. Jude's body was taken to Rome after he was martyred, and it was placed in a crypt in St. Peter's, where it remains today. One of the other symbols that's often associated with St. Jude is an axe, because some people, some theologians and historians believe that St. Jude may have been also additionally attacked with an axe. And the other symbol that we often see shown with St. Jude is called the mandolin of Edessa, and that is here. And the mandolin being the face of Jesus. And this is how that story goes. King Abgar of Edessa. Now, Edessa was located in southeast Turkey. King Abgar was very ill with leprosy, and he was about to die. So he sent an emissary to meet with Jesus, to plead with Jesus to come to Edessa to cure him. Well, Jesus could not go to Edessa at that particular point in time, so the emissary painted a picture on cloth of what Jesus looked like. Now remember, in those days, we didn't have iPhones or Nikon cameras, so no one knew what anyone looked like. So these people would hear about Jesus, but had no idea what he looked like. So this emissary painted this picture on a cloth. Well, Jesus took it, according to what we understand in tradition, and placed it on his own face and gave it to St. Jude. And St. Jude went back to King Abgar with the emissary and brought him the cloth. And according to what we understand, as soon as King Abgar saw the face of Jesus on the cloth, he was miraculously cured of his leprosy. So almost a hopeless case, but through the intercession of Jesus, he was cured. So we hear about these things associated with St. Jude particularly. He is called upon many times by people who are searching for something that feel like that there's no other place to turn. We're fortunate here in our church that we have three icons, three pieces of art. We have the St. Raphael, the archangel depicted on our tabernacle. We have the mosaic of Our Lady of Perpetual Help, and we have St. Jude here in our statue. Now, the other thing about St. Jude is that St. Bridget of Sweden, and many of you may have heard of St. Bridget, she had many visions with Jesus. St. Bridget is known for her 15 prayers of St. Bridget. If you're able to say those 15 prayers continuously without missing for an entire year, there are great promises that Jesus told St. Jude that person would receive. During some of those visions, Jesus asks St. Bridget if she would proclaim St. Jude to be the saint of the impossible. So he's also known in that way as well. St. Jude, his feast day is October the 28th, and he is considered a real icon in the church. I hope that you now know a little bit more about St. Jude. Isn't it kind of great to learn stuff about our church that maybe we didn't know before? Novenas to St. Jude are prayed often. We should look upon him when we really need help. Thank you very much for listening in today. I hope that you will find time in these upcoming weeks to pray to St. Jude, for he is very powerful. May the Lord keep you and your family safe. Thank you.